What's going on, y'all? It's Ralph Real here, promoting my new album, Nappy Love, right here on The Curb. Check me out. Growing up in Lancaster, I had a lot of the Spanish heritage around me. So, Boricuas, Dominicanos, Cubanos. I mean, a lot of my friends were Spanish, and the music was ridiculous. So I got to learn about, salsa, merengue, bachata, all these, and bomba and soca, and some great rhythms there, and putting it together was just awesome. But I was raised in a church, so all I got to really hear was church music all the time. So what my mom would do was, for every secular song I heard, she'd always try to buy a Christian rap tape just to try to balance it, because I just wanted to get in everything. And but when it came to hip hop, I can definitely say hip hop raised me. That was the first start. I mean, when it came to the five elements, when it came to dancing, when it came to making beats, when it came to beatboxing, rapping, I mean, I was all about it. I was all about it. So hip hop was definitely a big influence on my life at the time. And then also just starting to take instruments. I call him my music father. His name was Clyde Baytom Lucas, and he was my drum teacher for many of years, for almost 18 years. And he really opened my eyes to so many genres of music and how to play it, and how to play it right, and how to crossbreed it with so many other different genres of music. And I think that was the eye opener for me. That was the major, okay, this is gonna be crazy, because now I know how to mix all this music that I'm hearing. I know how to mix it into one and make it my own. So I think that was amazing, and that was some of the fun things, growing up in Lancaster, is having that outlet to go anywhere and hear, a lot of different cultural music, and being able to make it your own, and kind of bring it in. So my mom, she asked me one Christmas what I wanted, and I said, well, I want a studio. So I want a drum set, 4-track recorder, and I want a keyboard. So I got it. So I started making beats at 9 years old, 10 years old, and making beats for my friends, and going into my old church and trying to make beats in the church, and record them on a cassette tape, and then flip it over to get the other track so I could record 4-part harmonies. It was just crazy. It was crazy. But I'd always find a way to make music, and I love doing it. It's a passion of mine. Crazy is when I moved from Lancaster to York. I mean, you got to understand, well, first of all, everywhere I was, it was kind of like a minority, but in a good way. I guess. Is that bad to say? I don't know. But so when I lived in Lancaster, I lived in the hood, but I went to school at a Christian school about 40 minutes away, with a predominantly all white school. So I was the only black dude. There was me, my sister had graduated, and my cousin ZK, my cousin Coco. We were the only blacks in the whole school. But then I got bussed right back into the hood, 40 minutes, right back into Lancaster, where it was predominantly Spanish. And still, again, I was one of the only, black families on the block. But it was all good, because I got to learn so much. But when I moved to York, it was crazy for me, because I lost that city feel. So I moved up to York, and I moved in back of the York Galleria Mall, which at that time was basically a farm. It was a park, a mall, and a farm in the back of my house. So it was a complete culture shock. And going to my school, it was a complete culture shock, because there was no more hip hop. There was no more salsa, merengue, bachata. There was no urban city life. There was no more urban music like that. It was just a bunch of white kids listening to Metallica and and Red Hot Chili Peppers and U2 and stuff like that. But again, me loving music, I loved it. I was now I'm getting to the rock side of things, and I'm really understanding folk music, rock music, country music, and I'm really starting to understand what they do up here. So it really kind of changed me, because the friends that I started meeting were really collective with music. My friend Andy Falls, man, me and him used to converse on music so much that he was a big Dave Matthews fan. I was a big Roots fan, but we found out they both were playing together in Philly, and we're like, oh my God, we gotta go see this. So we literally started just like meshing music together and started playing, and it was great because then it really opened us up, and a lot of people really liked the fusion of music that we were doing. So again, just another musical journey that I went through that helped me without my career, through my career. So because of him, I got to meet after he graduated from high school, and after I graduated from high school, he moved to DC. I was supposed to move with him, and I didn't. I stayed here, but he said, "Look, anytime I go to DC, you have to come up, meet my people." So I said, "All right." So I got to meet Unknown. Now Unknown was a beat maker, and he straight boom bap, MPC, like straight real hip hop, like boom. Straight real hip hop. That's what he was about. So, me, I made beats on my keyboard. So, like, he never saw anybody that did hip hop that made beats on a keyboard. Because he was like, where's your MPC? Where's your turntables? And I was like, I just make beats on my Triton. And so, he heard me and he was like, yo, you're crazy. You got to meet Amir. Well, behold, Amir is Odyssey. So, I got to meet Odyssey, and this was about going on about 13, 14 years now. And when I met Odyssey, it was like a connection right away. He was was just a phenomenal producer, but he had all these chords and progressions in his head. And I'm the one that could go to him and be like, okay, what you're hearing in your head, I could play it for you. So I'll be your hands, and you just tell me what you want. And it's been music ever since, touring ever since, and we've been doing great. So that's what Odyssey in good company, and we've been having so much fun. It's crazy. And so yeah, man, just some more about me. It's kind of crazy. So Nappy Love Project. Oh my gosh, where do we start with this project? Well, the Nappy Love Project, it started as just me in the studio making beats, kind of coming up with these concepts of different love scenarios, different love situations. But all those situations really come from what me and my wife went through before we got married. So right when I put the ring on her, and from the time I put a ring on her to be my wife, to ask her to be my wife, to the time that we got married, so from engagement to marriage, it's basically all the feelings that I went through, leading up to that. So it's like, it's a really cool collective CD of love songs that you necessarily wouldn't put into that bracket, I guess, So, but this CD has been in the works for years. It's been about 3 years. I mean, we've been married almost 3 years now, but even before that, it was in the works for a while until I really understood what the CD was about and understood that, oh my gosh, this is about me and my wife, and really put that collectiveness together. That's why I have my wife's hand on my CD cover. But Nappy Love really stands for is Nappy is my roots, as you can see. But it also is, it's also the freedom to love whoever you want. So, even though, like, a lot of people said to me already, like, people are going to go crazy when they see that's a white hand on an Afro head. And I was like, yeah, I know, but my wife is Chinese, and I was like, and that's my wife. So that's the reason why the photo looks like that. Plus, I just thought it was real artsy, and I thought it had a good vibe about what I was going to bring to the Nappy Love CD. But I'm all about the freedom of love. I'm all about loving whoever you want, no matter who you are. But the CD just, man, it came together, and the people that are on the CD are really good friends of mine, people that I've been working with for a while. And it was a great time to let some of my friends here that live here shine out. So I got my man Unknown from DC on it. That dude, of course, we talked about him earlier, but he's just an amazing beat maker. We have Unreal Productions together. A lot of the CD you'll hear him on it, whether it's rapping or whether it's from a beat. He did With You. He did. We have the Unreal bonus there where we on the end of the album I threw three instrumental songs so you can kind of hear what we're going to be doing next. So that's Unknown. Got my man Dice Double, aka Michael Dice. He's on my CD. He's on the very first track. He's on With You as well. He did a 16 on it. Really talented dude, man. I always love working with this dude. I never got to work with him like extensively, but every time we work, it's like, oh snap, this dude is super talented. You know what I mean? He's doing really good. So that's another thing. There's another person that's on the CD. My man Cash. Cash has this Baltimore accent with his flow that's so unique, and that's why I love working with Cash. Plus, he's a great friend of mine. We do good work. My man Mellow Paul, this white dude is crazy. He went to elementary, middle school, and high school with my wife. And I remember back in the day, my wife always used to say, "Yo, you got to hear this dude Mellow Paul. Like he can rap," and I'd always be like, "Yeah, whatever." And then lo and behold, I hear him rap, and he can rap his pants off. This dude was the greatest freestyler ever. Like, I've seen him get into a rap battle right in the hood, and the small, skinny white boy, all scruffy up, go in and rip everybody. So, like, Mellow Paul is a really good dude. He knows what he's doing. My man Odyssey, of course. Odyssey, You Don't Close Your Eyes, man. He really helped out with this one. Thank you to brother Odyssey. It's hard to get a well-known name on your CD, but when you got friends... but Odyssey said definitely. He was like, definitely, I want to be on this one. So he came through. My man Noah. I haven't seen Noah in a while. Noah was an artist that recorded in our studio that was doing really good. And I had him on the track. He sounded great, and he played violin and everything else. So Noah, I have a CD for you. Like, you gotta come get it. But so yeah, some people that were on the CD, yeah, man, definitely contributed to it. And did their thing, man. Did their thing as musicians, as rappers. You know what I mean? Just really helped out. But otherwise, everything you hear throughout the CD, mostly just me. Producing, engineering, mixing, mastering was Mark from Working Man's Productions in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I love Mark. Really good dude. It's crazy because this project, he really helped out. He really hooked up. So thank you very much for that. So Nappy Love, check it out. You can get Nappy Love on TuneCore or CD Baby. Also will be available on iTunes. So check that out. Also check out my new single coming out, My Girl. And it's going to be really good. Also, if you want to check out some new music, you can go on YouTube and check out With You, my video on there. And also UB4. So check out the videos, buy a CD, have some fun. Nappy Love.